An Atlanta man wants more done after witnessing a teen selling water firing shots at a busy intersection.
The man says no one was hit by the gunfire, but it's still unsettling. Fox 5's Eric Perry is live outside of an Atlanta police precinct with the story tonight. Eric?
Yeah, Tom, Courtney, scary moments, but thankfully no one was injured here. The man says he believes that teen was about 14 years old. He doesn't believe they understand the consequences from something like that. And it's more than just this crime. It's about getting the teenagers help.
I shouldn't have to fear that I'm going to get shot sitting at the light trying to go home.
Dorrington Poitier was on his way home from church Sunday when he says gunfire erupted from one of the teens selling water right after he got off the Cleveland Avenue exit in Atlanta.
As we were approaching the off-ramp, we were probably about 3 or 4 car lengths back. The light was red. All of a sudden I started hearing gunshots. I mean, pow, pow, pow. Looked over, and this young man had to be about 14 years old, had a handgun in his hand, walking towards my vehicle.
Poitier says he was sandwiched between the light and other cars and were stuck. What frustrates you the most about this?
The fact that they were so young, right? And the fact that they really didn't even consider that you could hit, those bullets could have hit anyone. People could have been killed.
When I see kids on the corner selling water, I take it as an issue to me. I say, man, we need to find them something to do.
This is an issue Atlanta District 12 Councilman Antonio Lewis has worked to solve.
A lot of the students that are selling water on the corner, they're in the in-between ages. What I mean by that, they're too old to go to summer camp and too young to get a job. But what we're going to do on August 1st, when school starts back, we're putting out signs in District 12 that will say no more water selling, call the councilman, because the councilman has your job. We found people, internships and nonprofits that actually will hire rising 8th graders and rising 9th graders.
Lewis says Mayor Dickens has hired more than 3,000 young people this summer to give them something to do. He says he has a plan that could further help.
To open up recreation centers on weekend. I put in a paper to open it up, to urge the mayor to open up recreation centers on Saturdays and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and from noon to 7 on Sundays.
And back out here live, Councilman Lewis says...
Want to start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakadash. Pedro Hebrew tongues, correct names of the Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone. And shalom to you, sister and brothers, labors truth. And shalom to the brothers and sisters listening and studying, share themselves approved. Shalom. Now, as you can see from that clip we just watched, I feel like that's a little bit too little, too late. Too late for that. Plus, it's not going to help because all of Babylon the Great, all of America is failing. Period. It's failing. It's falling down. Now, as it falls down, and these young Jakes that don't know who they are, the 2/3, they don't have no direction. As everything fails, they're going to act out and lash out. You can see in that clip with 13, 14-year-olds, act like they selling some water and busting people at the light. That's going to happen more often. They've been playing too much Grand Theft Auto, too much Call of Duty. They don't have a sense of who they are. They don't have a sense of their purpose, so they're just going to lash out. And that's going to happen among all the nation. All the 2/3 about to lash out. As food get taken away, as gas prices continue to rise, continue to watch the 2/3 Jake bug out at high levels. We're going to increasingly see that. And what I'm saying is, when Jake bug out, act the fool, at the same time, Esau is going to bug out, act the fool, because he's losing his system. So those two groups of people are about to clash. We're about to see race wars. And Jake, they're like, both of them gonna go crazy, but Jake gonna lash out because he like a little kid, don't know what to do. And Esau's remedy is, go get my gun and just knock Jake off. If Jake don't knock him off first. Because you see, Jake's is busting at the lights and they just trying to get the bag, get the money. That's all they know, to be hood niggas. So with that being said, let's go to the scriptures. And it's about to increase. Watch for this to really increase, y'all, Sharala. Because, it's been predicted in the word that this will happen. So let's go to Genesis 49, and 9. And this Genesis 49 and 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, that are gone up. He stoopeth down. He croucheth as a lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rise him up? Who shall rouse him up? And we know it's going to rouse him up. It's going to be the Spirit of the Lord rousing him up. But these are not being roused up the way we're getting roused up in the house of the Lord, the hopeful elect. No, they're getting roused up in like wild beasts. They're going to act the fool, lash out like some lions, and then the only remedy Esau going to have is that, hey, I got to get my gun and put this animal down. So prepare to see the race war really bubble up as we move forward. It's going to really, really bubble up. Big time. I can see it happen. Like, especially when the food get low, man, Esau and Jake gonna be fighting it out in Walmart for the last can of oodles and noodles. Last can of Roman noodle, they're gonna be banging over it, man. Jake can't shoot, Esau can shoot, but Jake can fight, Esau can't fight. So we about to see a battle. It's about to be war in Babylon the Great over a lack of bread. And Jake just gonna act the fool because he don't know. You know, Esau know his system is getting depleted. Jake always go off what Esau do, and Jake never had no system. So Jake don't know what to do. Jake has no direction right now. Israel, the 2/3 have no direction. They're just going aimless. They're full of rage, anger, because they're getting roused up because all the mistreatment, the curses they done went on in Babylon the Great. And the only thing they can do like a child is act out violently. That's the only thing they can do. So let's go get this next one. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 51 and 20. And this gonna go right with good with that clip we just watched. This is Isaiah 51 and 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all streets as a wild bull in the net. They are full of the fury of the Lord and rebuke of thy Yahweh. Therefore hear now thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. So did you hear? That's a mouthful. That explains what's going on now with all these young dudes, man. It says your young dudes lie in the heads of the streets. Where do we see them young dudes at? They, selling water in the streets. Like they selling water, but really they looking for somebody to rob, really. They looking for a quick come up. That's what they're looking for. And it's because they, like I said earlier, they don't have their identity. They don't know they're Hebrew Israelites. They don't know they're supposed to be doing the work of the Lord. They don't know. So all they gonna do is go by what they do know, which is what? Hood life. If I ain't got it, I gotta get it. I got this gun. Like what's that movie? Don't Be a Menace, catch them slipping at a red light. That's what these young jakes is looking to do. They don't have no other ways or means of getting any money. Like I said, we don't own businesses. Like dude trying to get something for them to do now, but they ain't about to do that. They're gonna pocket that money like they always do. And it's never been. We got less Black-owned or Israelite-owned businesses that we do back in the 50s. Everything is worse for us. Only thing we got going good is this house of David and this truth popping out and these prophecies unfolding. But as far as like having an economic system in this place, we ain't got it. And the youth is feeling it the hardest. And like Esau, he's slowing up on the drugs. The drugs now, the doctors are selling the drugs. And now it's fentanyl. Now, like, everybody's selling weed. You go to Spencer, get weed, there were problems, so that hustle's gone. People ain't really smoking crack no more. They done went to meth. So if you don't know how to be a chemist and cook up no meth, like, it's hard. It's real hard for these young dudes. And these parents don't know what to tell them because they 2/3 they damn selves. They ain't got no knowledge. And like the scripture right there said, hey, like a wild bull caught in a net. They just gonna go crazy. Like you put a bull in a net, man, that bull about to lash out, thrash out, act crazy. And that's what they're calling. They calling the net of Babylon the Great, which is a snare and a trap. Now your way out that net is what? Man, get you a sword. What's compared to the sword? The word. That's why we're in a calm state. We're not like a wild bull caught in a net, don't know where to go and all of that. Nah, man, we being still. And we've been fed with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. Therefore, we react differently than the young 2/3 who don't know what he's doing. And that precept, man, that fit that clip perfectly. Because them young dudes is in the streets. You got they shooting each other in the streets of Chicago. Man, these young dudes is in the streets trying to do that hood life. Hood life drying up. Esau not pumping drugs out there no more. Now Esau done got sophisticated. The doctors are selling the drugs. No more street drugs. So Jake ain't got no means of getting the bag except by, taking this modern day sword, which is a gun, and just murking people. And then Jake, he murking his own, but in a minute he about to be working Esau, because Esau the last ones that got the bread. And that's going to start that race war. And that's going to kick off, that's going to start Jacob's trouble. And that's going to start these race wars. And we about to go into that. We're entering into that period. So don't be surprised you start seeing things like that happen, or the police gunning Jake down more often. It's going to happen because Esau going to holler, I need protection. These Jakes is crazy. They animals. Protect me. And they going to do like, what's that, Jalen Walker? Prepare to see that, Yahshua. That's going to happen more often. And I like on 21, it says they are drunken, but not with wine. So what they drunk with? They drunk with the philosophies of Babylon the Great, aka America. That's what they're drunk with. They've been taught, like, do this and do that and you'll be successful. And now they're starting to be not so. The sown places started to be unsown. Those ways don't work because it was all a lie. And all this place is drying up. The drugs drying up, the money drying up, the water drying up. Everything in Babylon the Great is drying up. So Jake about to get desperate. Jake about to lash out. And then when he lashes out, Esau gonna lash out. And it's gonna turn into a whole martial law, to a whole bunch of mess. It's gonna be a bunch of I can see it at the job already. Like, battle lines is being drawn. We going to the age of war, straight up. It's gonna be war. War out here. So with that being said, let me keep it moving. Let's go to 1 Peter. Because this is all by the design of the Lord. And he wants that because he wants the 2/3 to get their judgment. He wants the 2/3 to get their judgment. So they're going to go out, fight with Esau carnally. Like, you even got camps promoting to go out there with the sword. Little nigga camps. So this isn't just a hood street nigga thing. You got this is a nigga thing, period. Even nigga camps is about to have a sword and go out there and bang it out with Esau at camp. They getting shot at. Jake shooting at them. Esau gonna be shooting at them. They gonna be shooting back. Then it's gonna make the whole ministry look bad. But hey, this is all been prophesied in the word to happen. It has to go forth. Judgment has to go forth. So check it out. This is 1 Peter 4:17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first began at us, what should the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? Which we can answer that question. They're going to be dead. Straight dead. That's what's going to happen to them. They obey not the gospel of Yahweh. And that's what judgment, that's why a lot of Israelites are getting their death right now. A lot. By all kinds of like crazy means. Like a Houston DJ, Eve, got tossed from her apartment and got death. You know, there's been a whole lot of shootings. It's a whole lot of death happening with Israel from the hands of Esau. Like I mentioned earlier, Jalen Walker, he got knocked over 60 times. Now they're trying to reduce the number to 46. I'm like, that's still overkill. That's still overkill. They was worried about Jake riling up on that, man. Jake, like, shoot. Jake about to rile up over no food and no gas. Jake getting wore out. Jake about to lash out real bad. And Esau ain't got the hands to go against Jake. So Esau gonna go get the sword. And they're gonna just fight it out. It's about to get bad. They're gonna be fighting over food. And this is like, you can tell, like, this Spirit of the Lord creating this. And he's using the left-hand people he created, the left-hand side, Esau, to do it. Because Esau could kill all of that by releasing resources. But Esau's pulling everything back. He pulling back food. He pulling back, messing with, manipulating the weather, making where it's got droughts, telling you can't use water. This place is getting reduced to a third world country when you really think about it. Doing blackouts, about to put everybody in the dark, scare everybody, release more pestilence. Esau is, and that really, we can't give it credit to Esau, because Esau is doing what Yahweh making them do. And they're creating a scenario for people to fight each other. They wait and cut the numbers down so it'd be easy for them to come and take control with their military. That's the goal right there. They're creating the purge effect. Purge scenarios. Go watch the Purge movies. First Purge, the last Purge. What's that? Purge, Anarchy, Last Election. I think it's like 5 Purge movies. Go watch that, Yashara. That's the period we're about to go into. That's what they're creating. And we're gonna watch another clip. Watch a clip, because it's not just the Jake dude. I noticed Eve acting a fool too. A plum fool.
A street vendor is attacked by a crazed woman demanding a burrito in South LA.
The victim says the woman became enraged when she was told she'd have to wait and started dumping out food bins and spitting on things. KTLA's Jennifer McGraw live in South LA, where she spoke with the victim. Jen.
Micah and Sharon, that woman never had any intention in buying that burrito, and that's why they asked the woman to wait 5 minutes so they could make her one. But still, she became erratic, and sadly, vendors keep getting attacked. But this vendor right here is back open tonight and says they're not going to let that woman stop them.
Fighting because she hungry.
We got tacos, Bessie! Burrito!
After berating workers at a South LA taco stand for not making her burrito fast enough, this woman seen here goes on a tirade, throwing out prepped food and trashing jugs of juice.
I can't believe it.
Then things really escalate as the woman starts chasing her.
Hey, you can, hey.
Y a mí fue la que pues me tocó más, ¿verdad?
Bertha is the victim. She says the attack was frightening and something that she worries about every night.
Me pongo de nervios al momento.
And says while she's nervous, she still needs to work.
The video doesn't show it, but she chased her for about 10 minutes around the car. She kept trying to run away from her. Coming at you from South LA. I'm here at South Taco.
Jimmy Sauce says is an LA foodie influencer standing up for those without a voice.
A lot of these vendors, they're here illegally, and so they're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to voice their opinion because they think they're going to get prosecuted.
Berta has been working at South Taco Stand for more than a decade and is scared to speak up in case the woman or someone comes back to harm them.
Street vendors are vulnerable. They're out on the streets. They got no protection. There's nobody there to watch over them. Most of their transactions are cash, so they're easy targets for a lot of these hoodlums out there.
In the end, the woman does take off. This after destroying all that she could, making a plate of food to go and spitting on all that was left.
To see them throwing the food on the ground, that really breaks my heart. That's like, it's just a sin. People are starving.
It took police about an hour to respond on Saturday's incident, but they did come out here today and take Berta's statement. Anybody with information.
Hey, you hear that? Took an hour to respond. That's another thing. Hey, these first responders, the police, hey, in the future, man, they say they losing more and more people on the force. The police ain't gonna be there, so you know it's gonna be purge scenarios. You got to defend yourself. And that Eve, look, that was Jake on Jake crime right there. That was Southern Tribe versus Northern Tribe. And I got women like that in my family. I see women like that all the time. They're just crazy. They got a lot of demons on them. They're just no good. Imagine living in a house with a woman like that. Something don't go away. Oh, they didn't have her food quick enough, so she fighting. And then like when the thing go crazy, man, the only thing you can do with an Eve like that is to defend yourself. That's it. Because they like to fight. They riled up. Like you don't want to be around a 2/3 Jake when time gets rough and gets bad, because they're going to lash out like that. And then you got to deal with them. And it's going to get real bad, y'all. So I say buckle up. Be circumspect. Watch out. Best you can. Avoid the 2/3 Jake. Only deal with hopefully Lex. And, just stay on the watch. Stay on the lookout. Stay tucked in this truth, the Yahweh Shah, the prophets. Just letting this truth out, because this thing is about to take off real fast. And Jake is going to tip it off, because Jake is going to act out first, because Jake don't know what's going on. Jake is totally lost and oblivious. And when a child that's violent don't know what's going on, they just act out in the best way they can, cry and fight. There's a lot of Jake be crying and fighting at the same time. You tell they just overloaded with emotion. They don't know how to articulate themselves. They don't know how to speak and express their feelings. And really, they don't know what to do. They don't have no direction. There ain't no direction. Because if they was fed with this wisdom, not to understand like we are, you be prepared. Your mind would be at ease. You know what's going on. You have stuff put up. You ain't gonna be up there fighting with food vendors because it took an hour for them to make your food. You just gonna go somewhere else. Tell them they destroyed a property. And see, check it out. That Eve, they did that. Had that had been an Edomite vendor, they would have shot her and gunned her down and got away with it. Because they say we defending ourselves. So that's why Jake, like I say, Jake about to get popped up. Because Jake, Jake can do that with Jake. But once you do that with Esau, his business and his money, he's going to get the gun. He's going to gun Jake down. You're going to see more Jakes get gunned down as they start attacking Esau. Because Esau going to have the last little bit of resources in Babylon the Great. So prepare for the race war. Prepare because it's going down. It's about to happen. Sooner, I'll say, sooner than later. It's about to happen. We're about to see that. And I'm seeing the effects of it already. So with that being said, I hope this has been edifying. Kwam Yasharala and DT Ababa. Shalom.